The beauty of the morning in our hearts we keep, reeds and flowers intertwine in a symphony.
Imagine a garden brimming with life, colour and charm. This is the essence of an English cottage garden, where blooms erupt in a joyful riot of colours, their sweet perfumes carried on the gentle breeze. Towering hollyhocks stand tall, while rambling roses weave through trellises, filling the air with fragrance. A kaleidoscope of colours greets the eye, from cheerful sunflowers to vibrant lavender and delicate peonies. So, come along, dear viewer, and let us delve into the enchanting world of English cottage gardens. The allure of the English cottage garden lies in its visual splendour and rich history. These gardens, born from simpler times, remind us of the beauty in nature's embrace. Imagine quaint cottages with climbing roses and gardens full of colour and fragrance. Over the centuries, the English cottage garden has evolved, but its essence remains unchanged. Join us as we uncover the secrets of these enchanting gardens and learn how to create your own piece of cottage garden magic. Our journey begins in the humble plots of medieval English villages. These early cottage gardens provided sustenance and healing for families. Rows of cabbages and onions jostled with fragrant rosemary and thyme. Even amidst practicality, a sense of beauty blossomed with brightly coloured wildflowers. As centuries passed, the English cottage garden evolved, reflecting changing times. The rise of trade in the Tudor era brought new and exotic plants to English shores. Despite these additions, the garden retained its quintessential English charm. This unique blend of practicality and aesthetics captured the imagination of gardeners and artists alike. The Victorian era saw a surge in gardening popularity. Garden writers and plant hunters brought back a dazzling array of new plant species. This influx led to a shift in the cottage garden's design, with more elaborate planting schemes. Yet, the cottage garden never lost its sense of natural abundance and unpretentious charm. Let's delve into the practical magic of moisture conservation in cottage gardens. Dense planting creates a living mulch, shading the soil and preventing moisture evaporation. The abundance of foliage also suppresses weeds, reducing the need for weeding. This dense planting improves soil structure over time, enriching it with organic matter. It's a self-sustaining cycle, working with nature, not against it. This means less time spent on maintenance and more time enjoying your garden. It's nature at its finest. The beauty of a cottage garden is that it practically takes care of itself. By choosing plants that thrive in your local climate, you're setting your garden up for success. Dense planting reduces pests and diseases, creating a balanced ecosystem. Embrace the natural ebb and flow of the seasons and let your garden thrive with gentle guidance. Creating a cottage garden transforms your space into a haven for biodiversity. Pollinators like bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds thrive in a diverse array of flowering plants. Birds and other wildlife find refuge in the dense foliage, creating a vibrant ecosystem. your garden becomes a bustling way station for these essential creatures. Let's meet some quintessential cottage garden plants. First, the queen of the garden, the rose, with its intoxicating fragrance and riot of colour. Next, the stately hollyhock, with its towering spires and delicate blooms. Hollyhocks attract pollinators like bees and butterflies. Finally, the cheerful sunflower, a symbol of summertime joy and a valuable food source for birds. These plants have graced gardens for generations, adding beauty and charm. Ensure something is always in bloom, from spring to autumn. In early spring, carpets of forget-me-nots and vibrant tulips signal the season's arrival. Summer brings a symphony of colour with lavender, foxgloves and pansies. As autumn approaches, sedum and asters provide a final burst of colour. Create a tapestry of colour that ebbs and flows with the seasons. True beauty lies in the details, in the interplay of foliage and texture. Silvery green lamb's ears, sculptural hostas, and delicate ferns add visual interest. Experiment with different leaf shapes and textures for depth and contrast. Foliage provides shelter for wildlife and creates a sense of intimacy in your garden. Let's talk about bringing your cottage garden dream to life. Embrace a relaxed, informal style with no rigid rules. Consider sun exposure and soil type when choosing plants. Think about how you envision using your garden and sketch a rough plan. Cottage gardens are about meandering paths, hidden nooks, and delightful surprises. Embrace the unexpected and create your own oasis. Section 2. Planting with purpose. Creating a tapestry of blooms and foliage. With your plan in hand, it's time for the fun part, choosing your plants. This is where you can truly let your creativity run wild, embracing the abundance and diversity that define a cottage garden. Remember, there's no need to stick to a strict colour scheme. In fact, the more eclectic the mix, the better. Start by selecting a few key structural plants to act as anchors within your garden. These could be shrubs like roses or hydrangeas, or even small trees like crabapples or flowering cherries. Once you have your anchors in place, you can start filling in the spaces with a delightful mix of perennials, biennials, and self-seeding annuals. Think about creating layers of colour and texture with taller plants at the back, gradually decreasing in height towards the front. Don't be afraid to mix things up, allowing plants to spill over paths and intermingle with each other. Remember, we're going for a look that's charmingly chaotic, yet still feels balanced and harmonious. And don't forget to include plants that will attract pollinators. Bees and butterflies will flock to your garden, drawn by the sweet nectar of plants like lavender, catmint, and buddlejas. These buzzing beauties not only add life and movement to your garden, but they also play a vital role in pollinating your plants, ensuring a bountiful display of blooms year after year. Section 3. Nurturing your cottage garden. Tips and tricks for a thriving paradise. Now that your cottage garden is well and truly planted, it's time to talk about how to keep it looking its best. Don't worry, cottage gardens are surprisingly low maintenance once established. It's all about working with nature's rhythms, rather than trying to control every aspect. Watering is key, especially during the first year after planting. Aim for deep, infrequent watering, allowing the soil to dry out slightly between waterings. This encourages plants to develop strong root systems, making them more resilient to drought. Mulching is another essential task, helping to retain moisture in the soil, suppress weeds, and add a layer of visual interest to your garden. Use an organic mulch, such as bark chippings or well-rotted compost, which will break down slowly, enriching the soil as it decomposes. Deadheading, or removing spent blooms, is another simple yet effective way to keep your cottage garden looking its best. Not only does it tidy up the appearance, but it also encourages plants to produce more flowers. And don't be afraid to give your plants a little haircut now and then. Regular pruning will help to keep them looking tidy and prevent them from becoming too leggy. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. So, relax, enjoy the process, and don't be afraid to experiment. Section 1. A Legacy of Beauty. The enduring appeal of cottage gardens. As we've journeyed through the history, the practicality, and the sheer charm of English cottage gardens, one thing becomes abundantly clear. They hold a timeless appeal that transcends mere gardening trends. These gardens, born from humble beginnings, speak to a deep-seated human desire to connect with nature, to find solace in simplicity, and to create beauty in our everyday lives. Imagine, even today, the gentle sway of hollyhocks against a backdrop of rambling roses, the intoxicating scent of lavender carried on the breeze, the gentle hum of bees, busily flitting from bloom to bloom. These sensory delights, woven into the very fabric of a cottage garden, have the power to transport us, if only for a moment, to a place of peace, tranquility, and enduring beauty. And perhaps that's the true legacy of the cottage garden. Its ability to remind us that beauty can be found in the simplest of things, in the gentle unfurling of a petal, in the intricate dance of a butterfly, in the quiet satisfaction of nurturing a seed into life. More than just a collection of plants, a cottage garden is a reflection of the gardener's heart, a testament to their love for nature and a gift of beauty shared with all who enter its embrace. It's a living tapestry, woven with threads of history, tradition, and a deep-seated appreciation for the wonders of the natural world. Section 2. Cultivating Joy, Embracing the Cottage Garden Spirit. And so, we come to the end of our exploration, but it's not truly an ending, is it? It's more of a beginning, an invitation to embrace the spirit of the cottage garden in your own outdoor space, however grand or humble it may be. Remember, creating a cottage garden isn't about adhering to strict rules or striving for unattainable perfection. It's about following your heart, letting your creativity blossom, and embracing the delightful chaos that comes with embracing nature's wild beauty. Plant what brings you joy, whether it's a fragrant rose that reminds you of your grandmother's garden, or a cheerful sunflower that follows the sun's journey across the sky. Create spaces that invite you to linger, to breathe in the sweet scents, to listen to the gentle hum of insects, and to simply be present in the moment. And don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things, and to let your garden evolve organically over time. Remember, a cottage garden is a journey, not a destination. It's a constant source of discovery, delight, and a testament to the enduring bond between humans and the natural world. So go forth, dear viewer, and create your own little piece of cottage garden magic. Embrace the beauty of imperfection, celebrate the changing seasons, and let your garden be a reflection of your own unique style and love for nature. Happy gardening!
beauty of the morning. In our hearts we keep reeds and flowers intertwine in a symphony of green. Irish voices sweet and clear in this quiet scene. Out in gardens vast and green, with flowers by the lane, bagpipes call the morning dew in a land where hearts remain. Violin speaks melodies, cello hums so sweet. We stroll through ancient gardens,